Hi guys, welcome to Smile Style Philosophy. I, of course, am the Legendary SMYLZ, Beep Gang, and I'm continuing on with a series of videos that explain why the movie Man of Steel sucked, why it was a horrible movie, and why it was a terrible movie. In my last video, I explained that the relationship between Kal-El and Lois Lane just came out of nowhere. The movie did not depict anything that would make us assume that Lois Lane and Kal-El had a thing for each other or an initial attraction. And then I brought the point home where it's a reoccurring theme that the producers and the writer just assumed we already knew, so they didn't have to explain where the attraction comes from. They just had to make sure it was in there. In this video, I want to explain why the reveal of Superman in his traditional Hope suit was untheatrical. It was a letdown. In the movie Man of Steel, we first see Superman in his suit at a point where he didn't really know himself. In fact, the way the movie depicted it, he didn't even know how to fly until after he put on his suit. Rule number one for anybody who is deciding to make a Superman incarnation in the future: Superman does not don the suit until after he learns how to fly. After they made this guy put on a suit, then he theatrically walked out of the Kryptonian spaceship, and then he just started making little small leaps and bounds until he learned how to fly in the suit. All right. Excuse me. In every superhero movie, the hero does not don his super suit until the darkest hour of the movie, of the darkest hour of the situation. Batman did not reveal himself in his bat suit until Gotham City was at its darkest hour. Iron Man did not don his Iron Man suit until it was the darkest hour in the Middle East. The Incredibles, they weren't seen in their newly made red and black suits until the darkest hour in their adventure. Think about that. Every superhero suit was revealed when all hope is lost. When all hope is lost, and then their super suit is used as a ray of light to cast light into the darkness. Gotham City was at its darkest hour. All of a sudden, here's Batman finally in his suit as a shadowy ray of light on Gotham City. Iron Man was working on this suit, but when he saw a situation in the Middle East, he finally said, now I need to wear this suit. They need me. They need me. Which brings me to another point. The foreshadowing was poorly done. Throughout the entirety of the movie, all of the characters around Kal-El and around Clark, both of his fathers, his mother, they kept foreshadowing that Superman will be a beacon of light to humanity. That he's going to be an awe-inspiring figure. That he's going to give them hope. They're going to follow behind him. He's going to do something that makes the spirit of humanity inspired to do good things or great things. At some point, we're going to need Superman. The movie kept saying, one day, the world will be ready for you. One day the world will need you and accept you, right? The thing is, the movie did not establish why. To be honest, there was nothing in the movie that showed that humans needed a Superman. There was nothing in the movie that showed that we needed hope, or we needed change, or we needed Obama. I'm sorry, Jesus. I'm sorry, Man of Steel. I'm sorry, Kal-El. There was nothing in the movie that showed that we needed him at all. In fact, it seemed like everything was all good. It seemed like Earth was doing fine without him. If anything, he brought the trouble to Earth. See, in other movies depicting Superman, let's go with the Dark Knight trilogy. We understood in the Dark Knight trilogy why we needed a Batman. They showed scenes of Gotham City's crime. They showed scenes of Gotham City in turmoil. So we understood that, man, we need a hero. We need a Batman. Same thing with the Avengers. They showed Loki trying to take over the world, bring the army to T'Challa to the middle of Manhattan or the middle of New York. So we understood why we needed the Avengers. There was something, a crisis on the rise or looming that we need heroes to stop. But in Man of Steel, they didn't show the Earth in crisis. They didn't show any events that said that humanity was in some sort of trouble or some sort of struggle or some sort of turmoil. There was no rising crime rates. There wasn't the newscast in the background yapping about a situation that was terrible. There wasn't an outbreak. There wasn't a pandemic. There wasn't a biological attack. There wasn't no wars going on. There was no villains. There was no threat to Earth whatsoever prior to Superman donning his suit. They kept saying they're going to need you, they're going to need you. But why? We don't need you. We was doing fine without you. Really look at the movie. Anybody who saw it, go look at the movie. There was nothing in that movie that dictated that we needed Superman at that point in time. Humans were doing okay. There was no sign of crime. There was no sign of war. There was no sign of anything. There was no sign of trouble. So why do we need this Superman if nothing's going on? They didn't even hearken or have little Easter eggs about the war in Iraq or Syria or nothing. They didn't do any. No, there was nothing political that was going on. There was no international crisis. There was nothing depicted in the movie on Earth, prior to him donning the suit that gave me the impression that we needed him. We don't need you. We were doing fine without you. That's how the movie depicted it. Krypton needed you. They showed Krypton in turmoil. Nothing was happening on Earth. In prior Superman movies, they always have a montage of crime going on, and Superman is coming to stop the crime. They always have that beginning montage through, right before it's revealed that there are certain things going on around the world, and here's a Superman. There's always a burning building, a cat in a tree, a bank being robbed, a car with his brakes cut or whatever. There's something that shows, yes, we do need a Superman. There was nothing that happened in this movie that showed us that we needed a Superman. Nothing. Go watch it again. Go watch it again and tell me at what point do you think Earth needs a Superman. Oh, I know what point. The point where General Zod came to Earth looking for him. That's when. That's when we needed a Superman, because he brought the trouble to Earth. He brought the trouble to Earth. So you're doing all this foreshadowing, talking about we need you, but there was no reason why we needed you. We needed you to leave, because you're the one that drew General Zod to us. It would have been best if you wasn't on Earth. We was doing great. Oh, we need a Superman. Why? So he can solve the problem that he caused? On a final note, I have to admit, the only character that I actually felt something for was General Zod. Why? Because they went into detail into General Zod. We saw him at the beginning. We saw what his modus operandi was. We saw what it meant, what Krypton meant to him. We saw it. So at the end of the movie, when General Zod went on this rant about what Kal-El stole from him, it was understandable, because we saw the transition. It was really General Zod's movie when you think about it. We saw General Zod from the beginning to the end. We saw what motivated him. We saw what his inspiration was. We saw what he was trying to do. We knew his objective. and we were attached to it. General Zod was the best character in the movie, based on how it was depicted. It was General Zod's movie. Other than that, boo. Anything else? No, I think that's it. Well, if you've seen the movie and you enjoyed it, I want you to go back and consider everything that I've said if you sat through all these videos, which I highly doubt. And maybe when you see it through my eyes, you would see and you'd understand, yep, that wasn't good at all. That was poorly executed. That guy was right. Anyway, we're gonna finish this. I'm out.